A horror game is a video game genre centered on horror fiction and typically designed to scare the player. That's the fundamental idea of a horror game. And do Roblox horror games succeed at that, like in any effective way? No. Roblox horror games have a huge potential. I always get excited when discovering a new Roblox horror game. They always seem to impress me when I join at first, and time passes and the excitement wears off. And then I am disappointed most of the time. Especially the visuals. Roblox horror games always have very impressive visuals, but they always fail at the fundamentals of a horror game. Roblox horror games forgot how to be scary. How do you scare the player? Pretty much every Roblox horror game relies on jump scares. That's it. Okay, jump scares are fine to be included in horror games, but if that's literally the only thing that you're gonna rely on for the horror aspect, you have failed at making a horror game. Suspense is the primary aspect of a horror game that you should be utilizing, not jump scares. If you get jump scared and die, well, it doesn't really matter anymore, does it? Suspense strikes fear in the player and it lets them know they're in danger without knowing what really poses danger to them. And when it's mysterious, suspense is at its best. And I will show examples of how those were done perfectly by all the Roblox horror games at the end of the video, and tell you in my opinion what really is the best Roblox horror game. Modern Roblox horror games are really well made, but the older Roblox horror games I've played, they actually made me scared. No modern Roblox horror game ever made me scared. The Mimic is assumed by many to be one of, if not the best, Roblox horror game ever made, and I could not disagree more. I will go through the Mimic and other very popular modern Roblox horror games in this video, and as I said at the end, I'll mention way better older Roblox horror games and how they succeed at the genre. Okay, so we spawn outside of this, I don't know, school or something. I mean, there's a locker room and a basketball court. Anyway, I like to point out that this game in particular is a walking simulator empire. There are so many parts to it where you just walk and walk and walk for so long, where literally nothing happens. And this is where we see the game's villain, I suppose, a gigantic white figure who's crying. I don't know why she's crying, it really doesn't matter. You can just walk right past and she disappears. And then you get these random ass jump scares out of nowhere throughout the game. Again, this is not scary, okay? A random ear rape does not make me feel like I'm at risk. And then we are introduced to another problem with this game. We have to find a key in this maze and then unlock a door in another part of the maze to escape. All while this gigantic thing roams around. You can just go back at the entrance and she won't care. You're safe. This took so long for no reason, and there wasn't anything that considered fun or scary. This isn't the only maze. This game is filled with find a key, find an exit mazes everywhere, and eventually you get sick of it. So this farmer tells us to be careful around here because his brother went to the city and hasn't been back since. What does this have to do with being careful around here? The city is the danger part, not this place. Whatever, dude. So after another insanely long walking simulator, we enter yet another maze. Listen, if I wanted to play a maze horror game, I'd be playing Identity Fraud, not this. So then there's a second floor of the maze. So after you finally complete this maze number 2 out of like 3 trillion to the power of 50 quintillion, chapter 1 ends. And if you thought chapter 1 was absolutely miserable, wait for chapter 2. So you spawn in this library, and I don't exactly know what happened. My teammate just did something and we moved on. Probably found some key or something. It's always about finding a key. Because that makes sense, right? The lore of this game is probably just some mentally challenged individual randomly dropped off keys all over this fucking place, expecting people like us to come and find them and use them. And then we do something against this gigantic statue, and then we get our new objective. And what a surprise, we have to find another key for another door. Please put me out of my misery. So I found it after searching for a while, and it was the most fun I had all day. And open the door, and then wait for it. We have to get out of another maze, where another atrocity of being is spawn camping the exit. Good. So after a very long time, I finally found the exit and died. And then I found it again and died again. And again. And then finally, after years of pain and suffering and mental agony, my life's work is done. I finally found the exit. What? What do you mean Spirit 2 is needed? Are you serious? I don't know if you noticed, but I have an above average desire to stop living. And that's where I quit. If you want, I'll make another video about the Mimic itself, the entire thing, but for now I need a break, man. So the next very popular Roblox horror game, Doors. This one's a unique one. This is a good game, but not a good horror game. I can see why people will find this fun as a normal game and for its gameplay, but this does not have good horror aspects either. But the only horror thing is the jump scares, obviously. And what's the gameplay, you might ask? You guessed it, finding a key and opening a door. This game's foundation is literally just on the idea that you find a key and open the door. When is the pain gonna end? If the lights flicker and some sound effect is played, you hide in a closet and avoid dying to a jump scare. And you know how the Mimic has random jump scares popping on your screen for like no reason? This game does too. Except you can prevent yourself from dying by looking at it, but it won't stop you from actually getting jump scared. I don't know where the logic is on that, but whatever. You eventually find this room where you have to match the paintings to the shapes behind them and it opens this thing. Okay, good. Then there's more things to open and keys to find and doors to open because that's very fun. So after a while of doing, that because it's fun, obviously, you end up on this hallway and then there's a chase sequence. This actually is a very cool chase sequence, probably the best chase sequence I've ever seen in a Roblox horror game. So good job, developers. So after another segment of key finding and door opening, you get this thing, and I'm not really sure how to beat this. Even when I played with my friends who play this game a lot, I never beat it, and to be honest, I'm never planning on beating it. But this thing I noticed when you hide in a closet is pretty cool actually. I don't think this was there when I first played, it caught me off guard, but this was really cool. And this was doors. Somewhat enjoyable sometimes, but again, not much horror. Forgot memories. This is a fan game of FNAF, so does it have the scary atmosphere of the first FNAF game? Not as much. FNAF makes you feel lonely and helpless. This doesn't. However, aside from the fact that this is really well made, like this is one of the highest quality Roblox games I've ever seen, it actually does have suspense. Every night a new animatronic is added except for the 5th night. On night 1 is just Freddy, on night 2 Bonnie is added, on night 3 Foxy is added, and on night 4 Chica is added. Freddy attacks from the front door only in the first night though. On the second night he guards the ventilation which is needed to be reset every night or else oxygen runs out. Bonnie attacks from the left hallway as always, and he also blocks your path to the power. Foxy, I don't understand that much. I think you have to keep watch of the pirate cove on the cameras like in the game. And if he gets out, well then have fun. Freddy walks around the dining area and around the room where the ventilation is. Chica, in my opinion, is the best animatronic. This is where the real suspense comes from. For whoever goes to the power, good luck. She will be sprinting at you and she stops if you look at her. Sounds easy, but before you actually find her, you're filled with anxiety because she's so fast. You have to look everywhere to catch her or else she will catch you. Once you find her, it's all good. But before then, good luck. And after you did all that hard work playing the whole game, the game should have a good satisfying ending to leave you with something. This game ends with a group of people dying to Freddy in first person. This is actually really cool. Well, plot wise it's pretty generic, but the fact that you're watching the people in first person try to get out looks really cool. And in my opinion, it'd be even cooler if they went all out. Animate Freddy killing all of them one by one while they try to run around a pizzeria, all while you're watching from the first person. That'd be really cool. So how do you do a Roblox horror game right? Let me introduce to you what I call, in my opinion, the best Roblox horror games, Silent Dark and Lightbulb. These games don't rely on jump scares at all. All the horror comes from suspense, and when I played these games when I was younger, I was actually so scared that I kept constantly leaving and rejoining just to leave again. So let's first look at Silent Dark. Silent Dark is a game about rumors about aliens coming into a town, curfews enforced, and everyone is asked to keep all windows and doors shut. Most of the action comes when you're dreaming. When you dream, your eyes will slowly close, and you're always anxious about something happening in front of you, and you know it will happen eventually, and you're anxious every time. In the first dream, you get to this door, and all of a sudden, completely unexpectedly, you have to spam the door as fast as possible because a monster behind you is approaching. And when you open it, you wake up, and the door is open, which immediately makes you think that someone's inside. You don't know what, you don't know where, but it's gonna stay with you the whole time, and it makes you anxious. And then, in your next dream, you see this. Absolutely lovely. And then you wake up, and then this text shows up. This game made chills when I first played. I constantly felt in danger even though nothing can actually hurt you at this point in the game, but it makes you think that it can. In the next dream you start talking to this dude and he assures that he and you are gonna get out of here alive.
There's something down here. I think my friend got eaten by whatever that thing is. We're both gonna get out of here alive.
And then you find him dead. And again, when I first played this scared the living shit out of me. And then you walk down the stairs and all of a sudden scary music starts playing and your screen starts shaking and you have to run down. And then the monster finds you. This for some reason scared me so hard as a kid. Like obviously the monster doesn't look scary at all. It looks like how a 5-year-old would draw a smile in Microsoft Paint. But again, the suspense is what's scary, not the jump scare. Then you wake up and realize it's not a dream, but your house is no longer your house. And then you end up on this phone and this happens.
Hey, it's almost midnight, and I have something important to ask. Are you afraid? Are you afraid? You can't hide from it forever. If you don't confront it, it'll never leave. You're not any safer in your dreams. Confront the darkness.
Then you go to bed, and finally the door opens as you're closing your eyes, and you're told it's in the house. Get out of there immediately. And again, this scared me to death when I first played. I don't even think anything actually was chasing me during this sequence, but it made you feel like there was. And your house is so small, it feels so tense, it makes you so scared not to run into it. And it gets even worse when you realize that you have to find a key to get out of there. This is how you properly do it: find a key, open a door segment. And then you escape and are left in complete darkness, just as the guy on the phone said. So that was really good. Now let's look at Lightbulb. I won't be spending as much time on this one, just a few highlights. So the idea behind this game is you're escaping whatever this place is from an entity called the Seeker, and you're the hider. Hide and seek. You need to make sure all the lights are on because it roams in the darkness. There's many good uses of suspense. And again, this game does not rely on jump scares at all.
Hey, is someone there? This is a trap. The monster's gonna get you. Hide somewhere. Run. Hang up the phone. It's coming. Stop listening to me. Hang up the phone. Run. Hide.
And there's phones scattered where a guy on the phone helps you. He's stuck just like you. He talks to you, so you both escape.
Did someone pick up the phone? Sorry I couldn't help last time. Make sure you look around while on the phone. It could be anywhere. That thing is still around here. I hadn't seen it in a while. I don't like to look into its face. Its eyes. I think it has really good hearing. If you haven't seen or heard it in a long time, you should probably be more concerned. I think this place is built after our nightmares. I gotta go. I think it's following me.
Except the seeker, the monster of the game, is gonna disrupt some of the calls and sometimes pretend to be the person on the phone.
Hey, did someone pick up the phone? This is my plan. We're gonna cut the power and escape. This is a virtual simulation. I don't want to worry you. The lights will be off for a short amount of time, but then we'll be out. All.
Hey, have you been hearing that guy on the phone? Don't listen to him. He's fake. He's gonna cut me off. He's not real.
All you have to do is pull the big red switch in the control room after I get those doors open. Oh, by the way, that thing's been interrupting phone calls. You have to listen to me. I'm the only real one talking to you. Remember that. Okay, I have to go.
The seeker at the end will use a normal phone person's voice to try to deceive you and trick you into trapping yourself with him and give you the bad ending, while the actual real person on the phone will try to tell you what exactly you should do so you both can escape and get the good ending. So you need to make one crucial decision which will determine your fate. You either get trapped in the darkness with the seeker or you escape into the light of day.
Alright, I'm getting the doors open. Just wait here until you can get inside. Just wait there. When you get in, pull the switches and shut off the maze's power. I know this seems like a bad thing to do, but you have to trust me. Don't listen to the other one that may be talking to you. He's just a distraction. It's the monster trying to get you lost. If you pass up these switches, we may never see the light of day again. This is our one chance to escape. Don't pull the switches! Don't let it convince you. I'm real! I'm real! It's a trick! It's open! The door is open! Pull the switch!
Who do you think is the real one? Should you pull the switch and wait? Or should you go to the door because it's already open? When I first played, I went for the door and this was the bad ending. You got deceived by the seeker and there are no more lights. You're stuck in darkness where the seeker roams. Or you pull the switches, the seeker will get mad at you and try to stop you and you actually get out of there. So that was Lightbulb. Silent Dark and Lightbulb, really good Roblox horror games. And you know what? They both were made by the same developer, Zeekers. He apparently moved on to Unity, but Zeekers, if you're watching this, your Roblox horror games are so cool. I would love for you to come back to make one final modern Roblox horror game and show everyone that the best Roblox horror game is not the Mimic or Doors. It's, well, whatever you're gonna make. Because Silent Dark and Lightbulb aren't really known by that much people right now. So yeah, Roblox horror games are literally forgot how to be scary. They prioritize jump scares completely exclusively and don't utilize suspense. You know, the thing that actually matters. So hopefully after this, people realize this. The Mimic developer, I know there's still a lot to be made to the Mimic, probably. So like, I'd recommend stop spamming mazes with 50 keys and doors and do something similar to what Silent Dark and Lightbulb does. Your game is very well made, the monsters are very well made with very fluid motions. So it sucks that the horror aspect is pretty much non-existent, so make it existent. Subscribe for more videos like this. For now, peace.